I was working on this. What's going on? Oh, let me pull my mic over. What's happening? I'm just in the shed. Wanted to come back on here and do a Q&A today. Just have a lot of stuff that I want to do. New ideas have popped up. I want to do some more collaborations. I don't know if y'all saw the last one that I did. What's going on, man? Arishal, he said, please take it slow. Which one? Um, so what I did, I put some links below. This is the In the Shed number 31 Q&A shed. And so what I did, I actually need my phone. I was gonna tell you, this is a little hack. Get the app Anytune, Anytune. And what you do is record. You can actually pull up the app and record something from YouTube and slow it down. You can slow it down. You can put in different keys, but that's a good way that you can transcribe stuff too. I was working on this Craig Handy solo. I don't think I have it on here. It was on Kansas City, that movie that came out like in the 90s, I believe. And it had like all of the hot jazz artists at the time. James Carter, Joshua Redman, Craig Handy. They had Nicholas Payton in there. Russell Malone was in there. And David Fathead Newman, Ron Carter, and different people. It was really good. It was really killing in terms of the music. The story, not so much. But I watched it a lot, and there was some battles in there. And one battle was on this rhythm changes between Joshua Redman and Craig Handy. And I started learning it on tenor, but I didn't open my tenor since yesterday at church. So I don't have it open, but I want to still continue to work on that. So let me see if I can pull it up. You know what? I wish I had. Do I have my headphones? No, I don't have any headphones. So what I'll do, I'll pull it up on the phone, because I know if I try to play it, something from YouTube, it'll give me a copyright claim or whatever. So what I'm going to do is try to pull up that to continue to work on that solo, because I kind of something like that. But yeah, if you have any questions, fire away, and then I'll answer your questions in the midst of transcribing this. That will be cool. So it's Craig Handy and Joshua Redman. I got so much, you know, so much delight out of transcribing, working on this with a student of mine, and it's very rewarding. You know, it keeps you fresh. I got it. So it's I got to keep it low, but I just wanted to hear. Okay, let me see if I can do it. I gotta really record this. It's really hard to control this from my phone. I'm just on YouTube. Man, it's gonna be hard. I'm trying to remember what I learned. Here it is. Got to keep it real low. There we go. All right, I see the questions coming in. Okay, so one of the questions, I'll look at the comments. Yes, King, I need that sound, jazz, funk sound. What practicing scale, chords, triads? I'm a bit stuck. Okay, all right. Okay. So let's see. You need that jazz funk sound. Okay, so jazz funk. So I mean, transcribing is where it's at. You start there. You always start with transcribing to get the sound and the feel and the licks and all of that. So immediately I thought about Maceo Parker. You know, get some Maceo Parker, and then of course you got Gerald Albright. You know, I'm thinking alto, um, jazz funk. I mean, those guys are the kings in terms of when I think of funk, I'm thinking more rhythmic type stuff, rhythmic and in the pocket. So if you start with that, and I mean, I said Gerald Albright, but also what's his name? Grover, of course, Grover. Just transcribe, start there, and that'll get you in the ballpark. Jazz Medic, it says what, and I can deal with scales, chords, triads, and stuff. I'll address that question too. All right, I'm gonna go to the next one though, and then I'll play a little examples. What would you say is your process to learning a tune? Do you ever feel like you get in a state where not thinking when playing? Yeah, I feel like in that state, that's when my best playing comes out. Of course, absolutely. I talk about these 4 levels of competence, and this applies to everything. So our brain or our mind, can go through these processes to where the first stage is unconscious incompetence. That's where you're not even aware of what you don't know how to do. But let's say we look at a song, for instance. I turn you on to a song, like even this transcription. Um, once I hear it, before I hear it, I don't even know what's going to happen. But as soon as I listen to it, and then I move to the second stage, which is consciously incompetent. Now I'm aware that I don't know how to play the licks and the lines in this particular solo, or I don't know the melody to a song. And so what you do, you keep listening, and you are, be able to sing a little bit of it, and then teach yourself how to play it. Or if you get to sheet music, you could do it that way. But I really recommend learning by ear, because it's a lot that rubs off on you in the process, and you actually retain a lot more when you learn by ear, because your brain and mind need to go through that process of listening and capturing the audio, the audible sound, and physically playing it and thinking about like what's going on, what are the intervals, what are the connections, what's the harmony. You need to go through that process to get the engagement of your brain, in all these different facets. And I always talk about the 3 different senses that you exercise, from hearing to touch, and also sight, seeing. And it doesn't always have to be through sheet music. It can be what you imagine, Um, so it can be an abstract thing. Piano players, even when they not looking at the keys, they still see the pattern of the white and black keys, in their imagination. And we can do even that, on saxophone, or if we play another instrument, we can kind of visualize that instrument in our mind. I visualize certain things on saxophone, even though I can't see my fingers, but still I have my imagination, however abstract or whatever, puts connections together that allows me to remember songs and remember the melodies and stuff like that. So so after you become aware of what you don't know how to do, that's the second level. That's consciously incompetent. You go to the third level, which is consciously competent, and of course that's when you are aware of what you're doing, so you can learn a melody, and you know how to play it. So this solo, for instance, the first 8 bars, once I play it over and over, I'll get consciously competent on it. And then if I keep on playing it and put in different keys and stuff like that, then I could just get to that 4th level, which is unconsciously competent. And that's what you're talking about when you don't have to think about it. You just play it. Your mind can be somewhere else, and you're just on automatic pilot, because you've dialed in that lick or song, whatever, to the point where you don't really have to think about it, because it's just ingrained. And that's the difference. The brain and the mind are 2 different things. I like this neural, or thinking about the brain, and I've researched how it works. Your mind basically is what you think about. That's like what you're consciously aware of. The brain is like a library. It stores everything. And so when somebody, like for instance, I know a lot of songs, you might know a lot of songs, and it's just stored in your brain, but you're not thinking about that the particular song until somebody mentions it or calls the tune. And then you be like, oh, okay. And you just pulled it from your brain to your mind. And when you play the song, you're actually playing the song and processing everything in your mind real time. The brain is very fascinating. It's like the computer, like when you click on a program, you go into that specific program. But before then, everything, the icons are on your desktop, so you can look and see what you want to go into, what program you want to work with. Oh man, I gotta call my man back. So yeah, so that's the answer. Let me think about this. I need to get. I learned it on sax, on tenor. Okay, go up. Okay, go up minus 6. Okay. That's it. Okay, that's it. Let me get this. So, case in point, I learned this the other day from working with a student. The first 8 bars on this solo, Craig Handy solo on I can't sing that melody. I'm trying to avoid the copyright issues, but let me see. It's called Jazz 34 Final Battle, Kansas City, and Kansas City band, yeah, man. But Craig Handy plays some nice stuff. Yeah, of course, Joshua Redmond did too. But I'm used to Josh, but I didn't learn a lot of, I didn't learn a lot of Craig Handy stuff coming up. That's it. So what I'm gonna do, is practice this thing. I'll show you how I practice. I'm gonna show you a prime example how to go from consciously incompetent to consciously competent. This was from the second stage to the third. G sharp key is sticking. Let me see if I got some sandpaper. I got like some soft sandpaper I use. It might be. I think I keep it in my case. All right, I'll answer your question. Let's see. Um, man, I don't think I put it in here. So, or do I have anything? No. I gotta look in this top drawer. All right, so opinion on the impact love has to jazz. A big impact, because jazz is just a style. It's just a style, a label that's put on a type of music. So, I mean, um, I love the style, the genre, the tradition of being able uh, to improvise and create spontaneously over changes. So it's just a means that we use to express ourselves. So your heart and soul is able to be channeled or funneled through that particular medium. And so for me, it has a big impact because where my heart and soul and spirit is, I use music as the outlet to express what's on my heart and soul. And me being a Christian um, and you know, understanding worship or understanding a vertical, experience. Um, when I say vertical, I'm thinking about playing music or playing from a place of reverence, where you acknowledge God, you know, and your love for people and your love for encouraging others and being an inspiration to share um, the gospel, you know. Um, it all comes through music for me and what I do. Um, so it impacts it big time because when I was younger, when I was coming up in church and I really saw the, um, the band in church and the organ and the singers praising God, like it was just a thing impressed on me that we should play from that place of reverence, worship, and praise. And so when I started playing in church and then I started playing saxophone and learning other genres, my initial experience and what was ingrained in me or impressed upon me is to play and be a preacher. And so my sound has that in it. Like you can hear that it's not just a head, you know, intellectual thing. It's something that's connected to my heart, soul, and my spirit. And so, especially when I later started learning about John Coltrane and how he was with his searching and really digging deep into, you know, just trying to, you know, searching different sounds and colors. And it was a spiritual journey for him. And he came up in the church, and his grandfather and different people in his family were ministers. And a lot of the jazz musicians, they come out of the church or were around the church and had that experience where they wanted to be able to imitate that, you know, through their instrument, and they would do it through a medium like jazz, you know. So our tradition, as you know, Black Americans, African Americans, or whatever, you know, it lends itself to the spiritual worship experience, and you know, of course, our music is an outlet for us to share what's on the heart and the struggles that we're going through. So it's really deep and a strong avenue that you can really communicate that love and and your journey. So yeah, definitely. That's a deep answer, man. That's a great question. That's a deep question. You made me really dig in with that one. Uh, all right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna split it up. I got that phrase. Now I need to get the second part. Uh, you had a great answer too, man. Okay, appreciate you, man. There we go. There we go. Uh. It's just putting those things together. I still gotta find my little sandpaper. I need to get some more. A student of mine brought it to me a long time ago, and I just so happen to have a few strips, but I don't know where those strips are. Oh, there it is. Excellent. Cool, this G sharp key is tripping. It's sticking. So yeah, and that's why I wanted to do more collaborations. Y'all will be seeing more collaborations like the one we did with my man Tim Green and the legend, the gospel legend, um, Donald Hayes. He has a great voice, man, on that sax. He's like, you know, he's like one of the strongest voices, I believe, like in gospel saxophone. I mean, that's his area. I came up on originally on like Bernard Johnson, and he might have, of course, definitely influenced Donald, but Donald, from playing on the John P. Key stuff, and I remember hearing him on different gospel projects. I remember I met him when I was just getting started at this church in Fort Worth. He was there, and I heard him. I was like, wow. And it was funny, he had no idea who I was, and I didn't know who he was. But later, I learned who he was, and I told him I had my soprano. And I was playing. It was like a musical or something, and I told him later when I saw him at the NAMM show. He's like, "Oh man, that's crazy," but yeah, I was a kid and he was playing, and so we ended up, exchanging contact. He told me he really appreciate my sound and what I'm doing. He liked my style, being able to play both, the smooth gospel stuff and also the straight ahead. But yeah, we just kept in touch, and he posted, actually, I saw a video of his. He was playing a Stevie Wonder tune, and it was killing on Facebook. And I commented on it, and I shared it, and he was like, "Hey man, we need to do something do a collaboration. I shared it with my man Tim Green, and he commented as well. And so I was like, oh yeah. So I thought about my tune "Waiting for You," and I put the track together, put some space in there for them both to play on it, and I sent it to him, and we did it. So if you hadn't seen that, just look on the channel. It's "Waiting for You" collab with Donald Hayes and Tim Green. So hopefully we can get some more of that going. What's the longest time? Hold on a second here. Let's see. What is the longest time period you have practiced? Man, like at least 4. Let me see here. Let me pull this over because it's kind of cutting off. Somebody said, what is the longest time period you have practiced one tune to get it decent shape? Oh, one tune. I didn't read it all. So what's the longest I practiced one tune? Man, shoots, weeks, really. I mean, and even longer than that, months. It just depends on what song it is, what tune. You mean like transcribing a solo? Or, I mean, really, it's a process. I would say, it's stages to it. So you learn it initially from the recording or whatever. Then you want to create a play along or get a play along to play the song with. And then, like, sometimes I would make a band in a box chart. I mean, put the changes in band in a box if there wasn't a play along available. Or sometimes I would make a track. Like if it was a original tune by somebody, I would just learn it and be able to play the chords on keys, and I play the bass and everything, put it into my DAW and play the melody on it just to get a better feel of everything. Because you get a better feel of a song when you learn everything, the bass line, learn the chords, and learn the melody. So that's what I would do a lot of times. I was talking to Tim, my man Tim, yesterday on one of his tunes. I think it's Shalom, and I learned his tune like that. I learned it and put it into Logic. It's been some years back, but it's a killing one. I forgot. I gotta learn it. But anyway, I gotta learn it. Okay. So I gotta get that second half of the phrase. That's okay. Yo, what do y'all like here? Do y'all like this format of the In the Shed where I just kind of practice over stuff and answer questions? Y'all like that? Let me know. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's one. Another thing you can do, Practice something 7 times, be able to play it 7 times perfect. That's two. See, I'll be going blank right there. So in some spots, my muscle memory kicks in, but some spots I'm kind of cloudy still. So I got to keep playing it over and over. So it really, what they call neuroplasticity. When you learn something new, you create new grooves, and that's what's pretty much happening. My my mind is forcing. I'm like doing it over and over and over to get it ingrained in my mind, so that I don't have to fumble and stumble. All right, so I don't know how many times that is. I think I might have like one or two more. So I get I'm remembering another part. Okay. Yeah, I got to get that next part. I get that next part. So somebody said, hi, do you do relationship advice? I'm not a specialist. I guess you talking about relationship advice. That's interesting. I don't know. It just depends, I guess. Somebody said, thanks, Mr. Fowler, for your kind reply. No problem. Somebody says, I think this girl likes me. Oh, nah. No, this is not the right place for that. Yeah, this is not the right place for that. This specifically for music, jazz, or whatever, you know. Yes, I am discovering this practice and practice. Man, what is wrong with my? Oh, there you go. I've spent several hours on one tune over 3 days. Autumn leaves. Okay, do it. And I thought no one practices one tune so long. So you answered. So your answer helped me. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. Because there's so many different nuggets and approaches. When you chew on something, it's like when you read something. You can read something one time and you hear it, but then you really need to process what you just read. You go back and read, and you can even do, if you're studying, you can do some research on a particular part to get more deeper, get a deeper context. If you're studying something like the Bible, you can cross reference different scriptures, and even dig into the historical context, or what was going on with the culture. Hermeneutics, they where you study, you got to understand the language and the what was going on at the time to get better understanding and context of the passage. So and you can also look up Hebrew and Greek. So studying is studying. It's like, so you can chew and meditate on something. And I even do that with practicing. Like, practicing is very therapeutic, and it can be a spiritual, meditative type thing. So it's really helpful for you. It's an outlet for us to really kind of center ourselves, and it helps us get through the day. I mean, we all got a lot of cares and things, responsibilities that we have to deal with our family. And even especially now in this particular time, there's so much chaos going on in the world, with the racial stuff and the protests and stuff like that. So you can use practicing a tune to kind of escape and kind of center yourself. So I mean, playing something like Autumn Leaves, it's you can always get something out of your practice time. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, But if it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish each time. So I think that's the point. When you go into practicing, just take note. Hey, I'm going to work on a melody. And then, take note the next time, okay, this time I'm going to work on the chord changes, playing over the chord changes. And I might work on outlining the chord changes from the first degree the first time. Then you might outline the chord changes from the third degree, then the fifth degree, seventh degree. Then you want to learn it on keys. So it's a lot that you can get out of practicing one song. Let me see. I think I can pick out the rest of it. I got like 1A section, I believe. Uh, I just forgot it. Let loop. Okay, I'm almost there. Oh. That's it. That's it. Okay. Okay, I got it. Something like that. Okay. That's it. So, ah, I need to jump down. Uh, some. Okay, something like that. There we go. Something like that. The rhythm is a little off. That's what he did. So, something like that. Let's see. Something like that. All right. So that's pretty cool. I like that. All right. So somebody said, let's see. Yes, I am. Okay, I read that. We are around 15 hours time difference. Wow. I try to catch you and watch your replay as much as I can. Really great to see you live. Okay, cool. Where you at? Christopher, where you at? Donald Clay, what up, Donald? You cats like Donald Hayes have stretched. What's that? Man, let me see. Oh, okay, it was a typo. Okay, saxophone. Saxophone, okay. I guess you saying that we have stretched saxophone playing in the church from the days of Dr. Vernell. Yeah, Bernard Johnson, right. What a blessing, definitely. Yeah, I was in his orchestra when I was a kid, Bernard Johnson. Yeah. Thanks for always showing us how to work through changes and transcriptions. Yes, sir. No problem. Appreciate the love and support. Make sure. Oh, you're in Singapore. Wow. That's awesome. But yeah, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share this if you enjoy the stream. That always helps to get the word out, and you can definitely support the channel if you want. I have some licks available, 28 licks. You can click the description, the link in the description. I have it there. I made a bundle for you, 28 videos of me playing licks, and then I have the sheet music to go with it. So let's see here, QuamonFowler.com/QL1. There it is. And I also have the Q Grooves bundle, where I have some play-alongs of my songs and also some tracks that I made, where you have all the tracks, all the wave files for those, and I have a transcription together. I put that bundle together. It's the Q Grooves bundle. So you can definitely check that out as well. The link is in the description. So yeah, so this is a time where, I've been trying to work on new things, put out new products and stuff, new services, because, the gigs are not there. So just any support, from the products and services that I create, if you get them, that'll be helpful. I think that's it. That's in the key of G. Yeah, it's in the key of G, like a rhythm changes, but it's different because I'm playing it on alto. It's E. It feels, E on the alto. Feels weird. Okay. Rhythm changes. I need to practice rhythm changes in different keys. Oh man, it feels good. I like to playing E. It feels good to practice this. Now, I'm having to transcribe what I'm hearing. I'm actually taking what I'm hearing and playing it on alto. Of course, that's what we do, but I'm I don't usually play um, a rhythm change in the key of E on alto, but it's in the key of G on keys. But so my mind, I'm really working double because I'm used to playing tenor, so I'm used to hearing it in B flat and playing it in A on tenor, but I'm having to translate what I'm hearing on alto. So that really helps me, and that's why I like to practice alto because it's a challenge. It challenges me more because it's different. It's a different sound. Okay. Use that from what I learned. People trying to get at me. I'm shedding. Wow, I don't know where that's from. Ah. Ah. Ah, play it up an octave. Oh, that's the lick right there. But yeah, that's the lick. That's the challenge. Oh man, I need to answer this call. That's why I didn't recognize it. I had something. I needed to answer that. I forgot just that quick. I don't think I can return this call because it was like, oh man, I had a call. So let me see if I can get that. I just thought about it. I can't call him back. That's international. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, it's from another country. All right, so that should be enough. I want to keep shedding, but I gotta see what's up with this call. But thank y'all for watching and hanging with me. Let me see what's going on. I had a call to talk about some business, but they called my phone though. I thought we would do like a Skype. Let me make sure this is the same. Okay. I don't know. I don't think so. All right, y'all. So let's see. Let's see, y'all. Let's see. Man, and I got a message from Kirk, Kirk Whalum. So he's down to do something. So we're gonna work on a collab with Kirk too. So be on the lookout for that. I've been reaching out to all my folk. I hadn't heard back from Branford, but I'm gonna see if I can get them to do a collab. Anyway, let me answer a question. Do you have any videos that help with connecting phrases and solos? Yeah, but those videos are inside of the academy. I do master classes every Monday for my members, but I have like some stuff in there on how to connect. I remember doing a lesson on that actually within the last couple months. So if you join Texas Tenor Music Academy, you'll be able to access a lot of that, a lot of those videos. And then, like I said, on Monday nights, I go live for my paid members in a private Facebook group. There you go. Yeah, because that'll take some time. It's like specific things you gotta, um, you gotta look at. But definitely, I've even gone over some stuff on. Yeah, yeah, you would really like it, Irissa. Yeah, you would really like it, cause something like that, connecting solos or connecting your phrases. Um, it's a few components that you need, because I did some lessons on enclosures, arpeggios, linear lines, um, and so when you get in there, look for go into master classes and go and look for enclosures, linear lines, some lessons. Once you get in there, I'll add you to the group, and then I'll message you or email you, and I'll find some ones in there so I can just send you a link to. But most of the stuff is inside under the masterclass category, because I got tons of lessons in there, you know, in the masterclass category. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for hanging with me. I got some good time in, some good shedding. Um, I guess I missed my call I had at 11 o'clock because I totally forgot. So I'm gonna get to working on some new collaborations to post for you. And I want to post on here, some more music, just music just some videos of me playing. Y'all cool with that? You know, I post here mostly, more so than my other channels. I post, on my Texas Tenor channel, but you all are the focus group. I mean, y'all are, most of you all are musicians, most of them saxophone players, and I know y'all would like to see some performances of me playing stuff, in addition to the lessons where I can break stuff down. But I'm just trying to continue to keep the channel, uh, you know, keep providing you with good content. And